Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on a product that I have been using for many days, off and on, not every day, but I have used it many times. And I hate it more than I like it, but it seems like I'm the only one that hates it. It is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Essence, Skin Perfector Essence. Now, as you can see, this is like an air pump. So I have used quite a bit of it. I've used it every which way you can use it. You can use it with a sponge because it will absorb all of it. I've used it with a brush. Not the best application. The best way that I've found to use it, it has been with my fingers. But this is just something that I will probably finish this on days that I'm not going anywhere, that I just want a little bit of something on my face, but I will not repurchase. I just don't think, to begin with, this product is $21.49. I got it at CVS and I have $4 off, so I got it a little cheaper, and you can get it on sale or use the $3.50 coupon at Ulta, but I just don't see it. I don't see the hype. I feel that I'm going to show you what the coverage is. A lot of people are comparing it to this, the Chanel, the Water Fresh Complexion Touch. Okay, this, I have been curious of, okay, the little brush that comes with it is ridiculous, but I've been curious about this for a long time. I've heard a lot of people say that it's really amazing. I had a gift card from Macy's, plus I have Macy's money, so I ended up paying $15 for this, where I paid like $19 for this one. Okay, so it's funny how I ended up paying less for this. But anyways, these are not the same. This I can wear, and I feel like even though it's light coverage, it gives me enough coverage that I'm happy with. For, you know, it's not something I would wear to a special occasion, but it's a nice foundation. I like it. They're both have, the main ingredient is water. They have good skincare in it. This I like. This, no. And then I have a third one that I just got a little sample. I bought a $3.50 sample on Ipsy. And this is from Rose Inc. And it's basically the same kind of foundation. It's a skin, what is it called? Enhancer. And it's supposed to be luminous, tinted serum, but it has the same little spheres inside that pop into your skin, you know, once you start using it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a CoverGirl here, the Chanel here, and then I'm going to use the Rose, this one, on my forehead and chin. And then we're going to see what they look like. Okay, so if this sounds interesting, just keep on watching. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the CoverGirl over here. So I'm just going to apply some on my face. And I'm going to go in with my fingers. And you can actually see where the little spheres or makeup bubbles, whatever you want to call it, how they actually, you know, break up on the skin. And you can actually see like a little bit of product. This is super watery. Okay. So I'm not going to take it up to my forehead because I do want to use, like I said, the Rose one on my, oh, I'm putting it on my chin. No, I don't want it on my chin. How quickly I forget what I'm doing. Okay, so only on my cheek and my nose. Alright, so this is what it looks like with one application. As you can see, I mean, you can barely tell I have anything on my face. It just feels like I have one of those water-based moisturizers on my face. I keep putting it on my chin. Stop it, Clara. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. We will apply, try to build it up a little bit, but I'm going to let it dry because it does take a few minutes for it to dry. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of the Chanel over here. I'm not sure if that's the same amount. The Chanel seems to be, even though it's watery, it seems to be like a little thicker. And if you can see, this has a lot better coverage. It is not medium coverage, it is a light coverage, but you can definitely see the coverage on my face. It feels watery when you're touching it, but not quite as much as the the Covergirl. And if you can tell, look at this one, and then look at this one. Yes, you can see my dark, my hyperpigmentation, but you can see more coverage on this side for sure. Now I'm going to put the rose ink on my forehead and my chin, and then we're going to do a second round of, doesn't seem to be that much in here, 350. Wow. Oh. You don't get much, that's for sure. Okay, this is watery like the Covergirl. This feels a lot like the Covergirl. Real thin and watery. And it feels like, it would take just as long for it to sink in. Very, very little coverage. I think this one is more like the Covergirl one than the Chanel. Now, I don't have spots on my forehead, so as far as coverage, it would be hard to judge, but just from the way it feels and the way that I see that it looks, this is a lot similar to the, it almost looks like it has less pigment, little capsules in there, just like the, if you look at both of these, you can see that the Chanel, hold on, the Chanel looks like it has more little capsules in there than the Covergirl does. Let me give you a place where you can see it better. You can see that there's a lot more water in the Covergirl, and it's the same thing with this one. You can actually see on this one, let me put the cap on this because this is really watery, it's going to drip out. As you can see, these look like more similar. Oh, okay, I don't know how to put it so you can see it better. These look more similar. It's like more water and less little pigment capsules in there. So we're going to go into another small application of the Covergirl and see how this looks. Now, I've worn this, like I said, several times. By the end of the day, when you go to remove your makeup, there's really nothing left on my face. I wore to my son's house one day that it was cool outside and I was wearing a sweatshirt and they had the heater on, so I was pretty hot and my foundation disappeared. So I think that this is a product that if you have a hot flash, it's not going to be around. It's going to go away. This is the Chanel. Yeah, I think the Chanel lasts longer. I think it looks prettier. No, it's it's like 3 times more expensive than this one, okay? But I don't really care for this one, for the Covergirl. Like I said, I'm gonna use it, but I think if you have perfect skin, if you don't have anything to cover up, if you normally wear like a tinted sunscreen or a tinted moisturizer that has very little coverage, maybe you'll be happy with it. It's just not for me. And then you have to be so careful with anything that you apply over it because it's lifted very easily. Like I find that I really can't wear any cream products over it because it definitely will pull it. And I'm going to put a little more of the rose ink on my forehead, and that will be enough for the chin too. I'm going to put powder and everything on so you guys can see. But for me, it's a hard pass. I'm not going to purchase it again. Like I said, I have it. It wasn't cheap, so we'll use it at home. Now, one time I used it like a primer, underneath a powder foundation, and that looked really nice. and I felt like my skin felt moisturized all day. So let this sit for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go ahead and apply a few products over it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer, and I am using the Flower Beauty concealer. This is the, what is it, Get Real Serum Concealer. So another thing that I feel like, this is such light coverage that I usually wear a concealer that is not, you know, has a lot of coverage, because then it's gonna look kind of funny with all the coverage under your eyes and nothing on your face. I don't know, I just don't think that, like I said, I'm in the minority here. Most people are raving how amazing it is. I mean, a lot of women, mature skin women, have hot flashes, and this is not going to survive a hot flash. Okay, so this is the concealer. I'm going to use the Ami Clay powder. If you hear a little sound, that my husband got me some balloons for Valentine's Day, and you know how they make the noise whenever they touch like the ceiling and stuff like that. They're huge, very sweet, very nice, but they were huge. So these, I would say, any makeup you put on top of it, try to bounce it off your skin instead of rubbing, because it will come off. I love this powder. This powder works really well on your under eyes. It's very blurring. It's really nice. So if you can see now, with a little bit of powder, it does look a little better. I've used it with powder, without powder, with primer, without primer. I'm going to use a little bit of the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer, and this is a Dalton, no, ColourPop. And I have this in the shade 200 Fair Pale. I also feel that, and not just the rose, if you can tell like how accentuated that line is, the Covergirl does the same thing. It really sinks into any little fine lines. Like normally with other foundations, you can't see that well, but these very thin tints, it does. I mean, really, that is really accentuated right there. And even with a Covergirl, it gave me like a line here that I don't even see. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. This is one of their new blushes. This is a Naked Brown. I really like this blush. So nice and neutral. I really do enjoy it. I'm going to put a little bit, very softly, because I don't want to lift anything. So have you tried this? Let me know. Let me know what your experience is with it. I mean, right now, it doesn't look that bad. Super light coverage, but I mean, we all know that's what we're going to get out of it. That's not my problem with it. My problem with it is that, I don't know, when I put it on, it's like almost non-existent. And by the end of the day, it will be non-existent. I'm going to put a little bit of NYX glitter primer, because I'm going to use just one eyeshadow on my eyes today. Okay, what I'm going to use is the Hourglass. This is the, what are you called? A Scatter Light, and this is in the shade Ray, R-A-Y. And these are really nice. They're like a shimmer, glittery, beautiful eyeshadows. And I'm going to use brush right here. This is from MOTD, and I got this in last month, I think, Ipsy. Let's try my finger. This is so pretty. Look at that. It's just some shimmery goodness. These are perfect for one eyeshadow look. So pretty. All right, so make sure that when you have any kind of eyeshadow like this that have these little tops, that you keep it in there and that you close it really tight so they don't dry out. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the bronzer that I used, and I'm going to take this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to use a little bit on my crease. Okay, I have this is from Nabla, and these are the Cupid's Arrow eyeshadow pen or pencil, whatever you want to call it. This is an Arrow number 05. It is a navy, and since I have a navy shirt, I thought I would put a little bit of kind of like a messy, blend it a little bit with my finger. And these are really nice and pigmented, very buttery and easy to apply. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. This is the original. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go over it one more time. On my bottom lashes, I'm going to use the MAC Extended Play Giggle Black Mascara. And this one works amazing on my lower lashes. Okay. Let me go one more time on my upper lashes. This is like a wetter mascara, and I feel that sometimes you have to let it dry a little bit to apply more coats because it's easier to build that way. Alright, and for lips, I am just going to use this lip liner by Maybelline, and this is in the shade Totally Toffee. Okay, so I filled my lips with that, and then I'm going to use the Fat Oil Slick Click from NYX, and this is in the shade, link in my bio. This is very light for me to wear on my own. I don't like that light of a lipstick, but it works really nice over a lipstick or over a lip liner. They're very creamy, nice and shiny, very comfortable. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So this is the final look. I'm going to scoot you up so that you guys can see my face even closer. And okay, it doesn't do anything for my pores. As you can see, my pores are, you know, they're very visible. My hyperpigmentation is there. This one does the same thing. It doesn't cover the pores, but I don't have any primer on, okay? And this is my skin, 68-year-old skin. It's not, I'm not using any filters. I never do. This is just what my skin looks like. And if you can see on my forehead how this line right here is very, very accentuated. And the same thing happens if I use the CoverGirl. Like I said the other day, I had another line here that I didn't even know I had. But this one, you can see it is very visible. And normally it is not, it's there, okay? You know, like I said, I'm 68. But, yeah, is this my favorite type of foundation? No. Like I said, this one is fine for every day, the Chanel one. I like it. I like it a lot more than the CoverGirl. I understand it's a lot more money. But this one, of course, I'm going to use it. But again, this is something that I would use for every day. You know, to be at home. If I'm going to go to the grocery store, I'm not going to use this for a special occasion. I would want a little more coverage. But I like this one a lot more than the CoverGirl. I feel like the CoverGirl and the Rose Ink are about the same coverage. And like I said, look how much is missing. So I have tried it at least 6 or 7 times. I have really, really tested this out every which way to see how I can make it work better for me. Best way I found to make it work is with my fingers. And you can use a primer with it, a pore blurring primer, but it's going to last the same amount of time. It doesn't last all day on me. This will be gone in a couple of hours. This stays on my face longer. At the end of the day, yes, I won't have as much coverage either, but a lot longer than this. And you can use, I can use, even with a powder, it feels a little sticky. This one, actually the Rose Ink, feels less sticky than the other two. This one feels stickier, this one's a little sticky, and this is not sticky at all. Do I recommend it? It's up to you. You know, do you have a lot to cover? Do you like this kind of? I'd rather just use a tinted moisturizer, which, especially if you get a drugstore one, you may be able to find a less expensive one, or a tinted SPF. You may be able to find a less expensive one than this, and get a little better coverage or the same amount of coverage, but not spend as much. So neither one of them has SPF, which I was not looking for SPF. So that's fine. I don't depend on it. This brought so little product. Look at that. I only used it today. I want to show you. There's only enough there probably for one more time. For $3.50. Okay, I know normally you get these free like at a Point Perk or something on Sephora. But wow. I just wanted to try it. I figured, why not? If I have 3 of them, I can show you how, you know, 3 different ones of the same kind of foundation, how they work. I've tried the one from Jane Iredale. I did not like that one. That one to me had covers very similar to the Covergirl, which it just looked like I didn't have anything on my face. So anyway, guys, this is it. This is my thoughts on the Covergirl. Some people love it, some people don't, or at least I don't. I will finish it. I will not repurchase it. And it's not something that if a friend would ask me, do you know of like a tinted skin serum or skin tint that I can use? No, I will not recommend this one. You can get much better ones. Maybelline, let me see which one. Wet n Wild just has one that looks, I don't have that one, but it looks pretty on other people's face. Milani. What's the other one? Catrice. The one from Catrice is very nice. So, and cheaper. Catrice one is $10 versus $21.50. Alright, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Tell me your thoughts. You know, if you think I'm wrong, that's fine. This is just how it works for me. I have normal to a little oily skin in the T-zone, but you know, the rest of my face is normal, and I really don't get greasy and or oily in the T-zone unless it's super hot outside. So, you know, and I have a lot to cover, but like I said, it's just, I'm just not happy with it. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.